Arizona Lotus Corporation radio station. Stream us on your cell, laptop, desktop, or tablet at KFMA.com. You want it? You got it. Reality radio done right. No nonsense, real and raw, just like you like it.
He's corrupt, he's inexperienced, and he lies.
Broadcasting from a broom closet in the Arizona Lotus studios, it's Beef Vegan Presents.
Yo, welcome back to the show. It's Beef Vegan Presents live on Rock 102.1 KFMA, streaming worldwide at KFMA.com on this beautiful Tuesday, April 23rd. Good morning, Rico.
Good morning. Good
morning, Tucson. Thank you guys for tuning in. We have a lot to give away today because we're geared up for some Roadrunners playoff hockey action. I'll be giving away tickets all morning long for the Wednesday night's whiteout game as they host the first round of the home opener of the playoffs against the Calgary Wranglers, I believe. And it's going to be a huge game. Tickets are selling fast for that one. So we're going to have a packed house at the TCC both Wednesday, Friday, and possibly Sunday, but hopefully not. So your opportunity to win tickets all morning long. So get ready for that. Also, I have a concert announcement that I'm going to do today around 7 o'clock this morning. It's a big one. And then I'll have Win Them Before You Buy Them tickets to give away for that and some more. You know, I think I have some fair stuff. I don't know. I mean, so much. Yeah, so much to give away. And I woke up this morning checking out Unreal Rico on Instagram. And there was a video that Rico posted together. And it was a post-Earth Day video. You got stung by a bee on Earth Day, dude?
On Earth Day.
How is that even possible?
It made me laugh through the pain.
Okay.
After realizing that fact after it, you know?
Yeah. How did you get stung by a bee?
Just walking in the backyard. You know, you hear stories about people getting into hives by accident or like, you know, infiltrating like an area they're not supposed to be in.
Well, yeah, because there's Africanized killer bees. Did you get attacked by a swarm of bees?
It was one.
Okay.
It was a Sicario. It was an assassin. It was one singular bee that had it out for me. I don't know why, but I could feel the hatred. You would think it was like you would assume getting stung. It was like they would hit and run, you know?
Yeah.
This guy stung me like the kamikaze style because they lose the stinger.
Yeah, and they die.
But he didn't die right away. He was like, I'm going to keep fighting you. And he like kept like hitting my face and like buzzing around my head and landing on me.
Really?
And then on the dog. And then I was like, we're both after this bee.
Just one random bee.
One random bee.
I just saw
it felt personal, dude.
Yeah.
It felt personal.
Okay, well, back up for me because I am trying to grasp because, you know, bees don't necessarily, individual bees especially, don't necessarily attack because, you know, they're hardwired to know that, you know, once they sting, it's game over. Right. So they want to live, but for whatever reason, usually when people get stung, it's because, say, they accidentally put their hand on a bee or they step on a bee. That's usually like a stinging situation.
Right.
For a bee to go make a, pun intended, beeline for your head,
right.
Attack you, sting you in the head, and then continue to try to slap box you and then attack your dog. It seems like, what did you do? Did you have sex with the bee's mother?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, dude, what the hell? And the worst part about it, too, is how panicked you get.
Yeah.
It's an immediate,
it's
like,
a surprise.
You turn into a child. You're just like,
That's what I'm picturing too. Because what do you clock in right now as far as your weight?
You know, it was around 200 or something.
Okay, yeah. You're 200 and stacked, dude. You've been hitting the gym super hard. So you know, like from a bird's eye view, you seem like a tough guy. But no one's a tough guy when it comes to a single bee surprising them, and then all of a sudden you turn into a 6-year-old running around for dear life. Yeah. So okay, it's probably like ended in seconds, but it probably felt a lot longer than that.
Oh yeah.
And then when it was all said and done, did you have the bee's corpse? Did you see it dead?
No,
it just disappeared.
If I did, I would have made an example of it. You know?
And you had to pluck the stinger out of your head.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just like.
See, that's another reason why you shouldn't have shaved your head, man.
But you know what's true. And you know what's funny when things like that happen? It's like you got to go to the internet to look up the proper way of doing something.
Yeah.
You just assume like as a man, you're like, I'm just gonna pick it out, you know? But then you're like, what if that's not the way to do it? Then you look online and it's telling you online, it's like, don't pick it out or don't get the tweezers because it'll squeeze the venom more in your head. And you're like, it's like get a credit card or like something to scrape it off kind of thing. I was like, I'm glad I looked at the internet. Thanks, random person who knows about bee stings.
So that's what you did. You took your credit card and
you
like
scraped
a little card,
your head. And I scraped it a little bit out and just like little stinger.
And
I made a necklace out of it.
Is it still sore today?
Yeah, not really.
Now, I noticed you are wearing a hat, and you never wear a hat.
Right.
Can I see the top of your head?
Yeah. Just for confirmation.
Yeah. Just to make sure. I mean, your hair's still thick. I'm surprised it was able to get through there. But yeah, so odd and random. I mean, do you take baths of honey?
Something. I got to figure it out. Maybe it's the cologne. Maybe it hates Axe body spray. I don't know.
No, well, we just did a study, and scientists proved that Axe body spray is a deterrent to sheep, and probably works for other animals as well. I don't know, insects. Maybe, I know that your mom gifts you items, and she, every woman's a little hippie-esque. Maybe she gifted you soap that was made of pollen.
Yeah.
I mean, there has to be a reason.
Conspiracy. Yeah, they're all after me or something.
I would hope so. Well, let's hope it's a single incident. And it did happen on Earth Day, which makes you a terrible human being because, the one thing, like, there's a lot of dispute and debates as far as what we can do to sustain this planet, right? Going into the future.
Right.
And you'll see those arguments online all the time. But one thing I think everybody agrees on is that this planet does need bees, and we are running out of bees, right? So we need to protect our bees because they're super important to our ecosystem.
Absolutely.
And then you're out here like a goddamn serial killer murdering random bees, just with your head and looking like a very stingable person. So, change your the way you walk or your face. That makes a
people
bee
like
want
me
to
are the
punch you
cause
with
of
their
Earth
ass.
on a decline. Yeah, I got to change my ways.
Yeah, change your ways.
Bees can be fine. They can be assassins all they want, but me, I got to walk different, talk different, smell different.
I'm sorry. Is that victim blaming?
Kind of. Just a little bit of a sore subject there, buddy.
All right, sorry. Well, speaking of sore
but
subjects,
I hated the fact that it's on Earth Day, and it made me hate Earth. And I was like, F bees. They can all die. I don't care anymore. I'll eat fake honey.
Well, I'm sorry about your luck, man. But I would say it may be good luck, and hopefully, I don't know, you'll win in a scratcher or some good luck will come your way. Because they say when like a bird poops on you, it's good luck. Maybe if a bee stings you randomly and then curses your mother, that's a good luck as well. I don't know.
We'll see.
All right. Well, we have a great show lined up for you. We have so much to get to. So let's just start playing some music. I got music on the way from Bad Wolves. We'll kick things off with Weezer. And I mentioned that I have tickets to give away for your Tucson Roadrunners. That's happening all morning long. And your first opportunity for a pair of tickets for this Wednesday night's game is right now. So if you want to go to that game for free, give me a call, 600 KFMA, caller number 10. Those tickets are yours. Good luck. All right. If you're watching the stream, don't call right now. I'm not giving out those tickets, but please welcome. We got Allana and Cy from Unscrewed Theater. Welcome back. And it's been so long since Allana, and I'm going to say your name two ways throughout the show and guess that one of them is correct. It's been so long since you've been on the show that you didn't even see this setup. And this setup has been
for a while now.
Our forever setup. Yeah.
This is a dope setup.
I know. Thank you. I know they turned the broom closet into an actual studio, which, took them forever. It was a painstaking process. A lot of, crying and bitching on my part, but
please.
Yeah, I made it done. So yeah, I'm kind of official now, which is good. But you need to come back more and get, familiar with this. So
I do.
Yeah,
I really do. There's so many ring lights.
I know.
More than a TikTok girl's bedroom.
Here's the deal. And then when I talk to you guys too, I'm going to be looking at the monitor more so. So it looks like I'm looking directly at you because when I try to make eye contact, those ring lights are blinding and it gives me a migraine. I swear to God. And then I see like white spots. I can't do it. But a struggle. Yeah. So Allana reached out to me because Unscrewed Theater is doing a new game night, and they came up with this. What's the concept of the game?
Cy, you go.
Well, the concept is we decided we wanted to try and put together a show once a month that takes advantage of the improvisers' talents and the ability to kind of have a little bit of fun. And we're inspired by there are several sort of panel shows and game shows that are out there that we sort of stole things from and decided to put together a Tucson version of it. We're calling it Make Me Laugh. And it's basically just improv, but with a fake game show layered on top of it.
No, and I love the concept. And when you soft pitched it to me, I was like, yeah, that sounds fantastic. Not only would that be a fun night out at Unscrewed Theater, but you're like, come in and we'll attempt to do that game with you the best we can and have some fun with it. So that's what we're going to do on the podcast today. Before we do that, though, I want to make everyone's buttholes clench up and be terrified of the flame-throwing robot dog that we talked about.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are seeing, this is the image of this dog, and this is a real thing that you're going to be able to buy now. And somehow, I don't know, the government like signed off on this as like, yeah, you can go ahead and sell this for under $10,000. Why not? It's cheaper than a Kia. And
Sure.
That makes me thoroughly upset because this robot dog has a flamethrower attached to it that can shoot up to 30 feet. And see, look at Manny, my veteran friend with possibly PTSD and don't tread on my property at all energy, wants 5 of them. So guaranteed any like Jehovah Witness that inadvertently steps foot on Manny's property is going to turn into a marshmallow. You know, these are stories that I'm going to be reporting on here soon. Look at this terrifying image straight out of Terminator.
Oh my goodness.
That's the name of it. They call this the Terminator.
Sure.
So they gave it a killer pun, you know, based off of a movie that we've been like, when I say we, society has been making this joke and reference for the past 15 years that we are solely morphing into a Terminator-like reality. And Terminator, the company that made the Terminator is like, yeah, we're just going to double down on that.
Mm-hmm.
I would just hate to read the obituary from somebody. It's like, yeah, they were killed by a Terminator.
Yes.
That'd be so embarrating.
Accidentally terminated.
Terminated.
You know? Yeah.
The video is even creepier though.
They got that one cyber eye. You want to see creepy? There's video of this.
Yeah, the video takes it to a new level.
Yeah, which is
like,
we're gonna show here. I gotta get on the air to throw the tease and do a reintroduction. And it's funny too because we're gonna be going Friday
sales.
We're gonna be going into Lincoln Park's Friendly Fire, which Rock on 2.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. We are live on the podcast broadcast where we're looking at a picture of this killer cyborg dog flamethrower. They call him the Terminator. I got in studio a guest from Unscrewed Theater who are going to debut a new monthly game show night that they're going to tell us more about, and also kind of give us a little demonstration. We're going to play this game. We got Allana and Cy from Unscrewed Theater. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm sorry I'm so like tripping over my words because I am just concerned about society in general about this Terminator dog. And I'm just to get you even more terrified. So you're on my level. There is a video of this dog in action that we're going to show on the podcast broadcast stream. But when we come back, we're going to talk more about Unscrewed Theater's game night, which you're calling what, Cy?
Make Me Laugh.
Make Me Laugh. Yes. And it's going to be happening this weekend.
And on Friday night at 9.
Friday night at 9.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk more about that. And then we're also going to play the game. Rico and I are going to attempt to battle it out and see who's better at this game.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
You didn't know it was competition, did you? Every day is competition around here. All right. We're going to do that after Lincoln Park's Friendly Fire. It's Rock 1 2.1. Clear. Okay, let me see this video. And then we'll get refocused.
Does it come with zombies?
I blame Rico on this too because he literally dropped this in my lap just before you came in. I was so focused for you guys.
All his notes went out the window. He's like, "Oh, flamethrower dog."
Picture. Okay, here it goes.
I want to know if they offer financing. That's what terrifies me more.
They will.
Oh no!
You fucking know it's America. Of course, they're just like.
Yes, it had hair to be.
No, it's here.
Oh, like Hello Kitty.
Look at that. Lasers.
Oh, yeah.
It has lasers, dude.
Take was in 5 seconds.
Now,
somewhere in the back of the R&D department is Dr. Evil going, finally.
Yes. I would be concerned if this was only available for police departments and military. But
Sure.
the fact that this is available for the general public, I don't trust the general public being responsible enough to handle a killer flame-throwing robot dogs.
They got the best lawyer they could find to make that the terminology and verbiage just right.
See the evil
for
fingers
entertainment.
Alana's making? She this is going to be the thoughts of real people and trolls all over the internet. Or finally, they don't need a no trespassing sign. Actually, it's just going to be go ahead, step on our property at your own risk. Look at that.
Look at Manny's comment, though. I mean, that's an interesting conjecture to make because it's like you can purchase non-robot dog flamethrowers already on the market, but the element of adding a jumping robot automated dog killer. Yeah, I think that takes it to a new level.
I'm just ready for the cottage industry of selling signs that say this property protected by a flame-throwing robot dog.
Yeah.
I want to make the logo already.
Right?
It's never going to get robbed. Yes, for sure.
Look at that.
Yeah, dude.
Could you imagine being on mushrooms in the forest and coming across that?
No.
You're just like, oh man.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
Somebody is taking it to an actual vet.
Yeah. Yes. This is our reality, and this is only the beginning too. If this company right off the bat is able to sell this dog, which only weighs about 9 pounds, could jump.
That jump was hilarious.
Yeah.
You're gonna die.
There was a takeaway in the piece that I read on the air saying similar to drones used on the battlefield in Ukraine.
Sure.
Like, that's where these would be appropriate. Yeah.
We're testing it out. Crazy.
Hey kids, you want this? You know how many Russians it killed? Now it can be yours for Christmas.
Yay!
No, this is why birds aren't real.
That's right.
All right, well, let's get on the air here. We got about 5 seconds. So let me know in the comments if you would buy one of these for Christmas.
The
for
answer
your
is
kids. Rock 102.1 KFMA. That was Friendly Fire from Lincoln Park. New music on the podcast broadcast. We were joined by two greats from the Unscrewed Theater on Speedway. Yes, that's right, greats. Cy and Allana, and it's been a long time since we had you in studio. But I'm very excited about this new concept that you guys are going to be debuting on Friday night. Now, Unscrewed Theater is always a home for improv comedy and interaction with your audience, right?
Correct.
So it's a fun night of entertainment and to get people involved in the show.
Yes.
You're doing so with a game show style setup.
Yes.
That you're calling what?
Make me laugh.
Yeah. Now, the concept borrows from several popular game show ideas, right?
It does. And from like some British panel shows, there's something about the way the British interview comedians and put comedians in fun situations on TV shows that we're just basically blatantly stealing from.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Like Graham Norton.
I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, you're taking
Exactly.
all those formulas, you're putting together like a super game, and I would argue most like popular games have been, taken and borrowing
Sure
from
thing.
other popular
Yeah,
games and
absolutely.
evolving it. I mean, hell, my tap out game was essentially like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire meets Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. This just gets to showcase Tucson improv talent too. So
Absolutely. Okay, so explain the concept of the game. Now, of course, the games that we borrowed from. So you're going to have your crew from Unscrewed Theater on the stage initially.
yes.
And how's this setup work?
Well, we've got the main player is a crotchety judge, as it were, who of course will be making all of the determinations of what was best in each thing. And that judge has a groveling minion who will help keep the players in line.
Okay.
And then we have 3 players who will compete in 3 rounds. And the first round is solo improv, so they'll be given prompts where they have to perform something by themselves. And then at the end of that round, we have what we call our honk honk round, which is where they have a buzzer, like a game show buzzer. And that is rapid fire kind of questions. And they just, when they've got an answer, they buzz in. Round 2 is our players in duos. So each player in different pairs will have those improv prompts, and then another round of honk honks. And then our third round will be all 3 players doing scenes together. And then that one is what we're calling the wiggle. After that is the wiggle waggle round, which is basically some sort of a physical task.
Okay.
Yeah. Like they'll each be given a grape and they have to either confuse the judge or convince the judge whether or not the grape is in their mouth or in their hand.
Okay. Okay.
Completely
Nice.
silly kinds of things. Or we might make them draw something or draw a self-portrait in the dark, and we'll turn off all the lights and give them 1 minute to draw a self-portrait on a whiteboard. All kinds of silly things.
Now, usually when people do like game shows, they win prizes. Are there any prizes involved for people who may win?
There are bragging rights, and there will be a pageant-like sash.
Oh.
So they get to be, yes.
And you get to bring home the sash?
Well, we're going to keep the sash because we're going to use it next month.
We're a non-profit.
We're a
Yes, it's a
nonprofit.
non-profit.
We don't have stash money.
Have you seen sash prices lately,
That's right.
Dave?
It's mostly the bragging rights.
All right, yeah. So, but that still sounds like a fun group night activity.
It will be.
Go out and interact with your friends and participate in the game show. And so, have you tested it out with your crew? Obviously,
We have indeed. We got a group together in order to try and play test the entire game show and see what would work. And the theater liked it, and they said you can have the 4th Friday for 4 months. So we're doing a 4-month run. Hopefully, it will go well enough that we'll get to keep doing it past those 4 months. But we'll be on the 4th Friday of every month at 9:00.
Yeah, I like that concept a lot too. And testing it out. And so with tickets and stuff, how much are tickets and how do people get them?
They're $10, and it is going to be uncensored, so it's adults only for 17 and up. And you can get them at unscrewedtheater.org. And if you click on See a Show, you'll find it in our calendar and you can get tickets in advance, or you can just come and buy them at the door.
Nice. And and they serve beer there too, right?
Well,
Beer and wine? No,
we do not. We do not have we do have concessions, but it's all soft drinks and snacks and so on.
Okay. Yeah.
But we are near a couple of restaurants if you want to make an evening of it. We're in a park that has, or a business park that has a sushi restaurant, a pizza restaurant, and if you're there early enough in the evening, a gluten-free bakery. Just in case. We're also very close to a Mediterranean restaurant, another pizza where it's Speedway and Swan. So there's lots of ways you can make an evening of
there's
it.
everything's around there. Yeah, that's my neighborhood too. So yeah, I'm excited about that. So Unscrewed Theater this Friday night, the game show night, and we're going to be doing this game, or at least a small example of it, the most we can, when we return on Beef Vegan Presents. So if you're looking for something fun to do this Friday night, Unscrewed Theater is the place to go. We also got a website for Unscrewed Theater, which is
unscrewedtheater.org.
And then you get tickets in advance too. I was like, you pointing at the shirt? You have an unsigned shirt?
And I stared at it. I was like,
just in case you need to read it out.
All right. Well, it's going to be Rico and I going. Can we go heads up in this game?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. And then, Allana, you going to be the judge?
Yeah.
Yeah, you seem like a strict judge.
I am.
So do you take bribes?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good, because I have all these tickets to give away. So
I have sashes.
All right. Well, Rico and I going heads up playing the game next to Beef Vegan Presents. You can join the podcast broadcast as we'll continue the conversation. YouTube.com/beefvegan. Clear. Excellent. All right. Well, yeah, we'll prepare for this game. And while we do that, I do want to share a clip this morning that's in the header. When betting on yourself becomes big business. I debated with Spears this morning about Ryan Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
He's a boxer who bet on himself to win his fight, right? Which shouldn't be illegal or immoral whatsoever. But my question was, leading up to the fight, he acted like such a fucking lunatic that the odds were so against him winning this fight that his bet had a major payday. Right. So we talked about that and also betting in the NBA earlier this morning. In case you missed it, one little KFMA, that was Nirvana. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. Joining us via satellite from an undisclosed location somewhere in a bougie area in Vail. I'm going to say Vail. It looks kind of Vail-like. We got Justin Spears from ESPN Radio. Good morning, Spears.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. Thanks for being on. Of course, we're talking about sports and betting here that we're going to get into. But last night, there was a playoff game with the Los Angeles Lakers and Rico, who loves trying to win money on NBA basketball, but is oblivious to what the where they're at in the season.
Yeah, I only make bets on things I'm oblivious about. That way there's less emotion.
Apparently so, because I was look, I haven't been following the NBA because I've been completely enthralled in these AHL with
the hockey,
and NHL with everything that's going on in hockey for Arizona. That's taken all my focus. And so I asked Rico, I was like, "Oh, was it like a playoff game?" He's like, "No, I don't think so."
Maybe.
It was the first round of the playoffs that the Lakers played last night. Who'd they face off against?
Game 2 against the Denver Nuggets.
Okay, is the series 0-2 right now or split? Okay,
2-0.
Yeah, and this is one of the reasons why Spears refused to come to work today. But while you were watching this game, you kind of felt like there was some sort of conspiracy of brewing there, Rico.
Not really that one. Just in general, you look at some parlays and stats, and look, we talked about before where it's like right up to the line, right? Yeah, you need like an over 24.5, and it's at 23 at like fourth quarter. Like, come on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these odds makers they're essentially like scientists. They're mad scientists. They figure this out pretty good. They got it down to a T, and and they're in the business of making money. So if they're throwing out certain numbers and stats, they have it on good authority that that's what it's going to be. And gambling in sports, it seems like a growing phenomenon. I mean, just a week ago, didn't an NBA player get banned for life for playing in the NBA, Spears?
Yeah, Jonte Porter of the Toronto Raptors got banned because he was caught putting multiple bets on the NBA, but the one that really got him caught was he put an $80,000 bet on all of his unders. And in that game, he took himself out, faked an injury. He was like, "Oh, I'll check my eye. I think I got something in my eye. I'm allergies
not
too well." Ugh. And FanDuel, it's funny. FanDuel noticed that $80,000 bet, and they were like, hold on, we got to look into this, because who the hell is putting $80,000 on a guy who just got called up from the G League? If he was placed at like $100, maybe they would have just like, whatever. But they're like 80 grand on Jonte Porter's unders. And I think that's why the NBA gave him the lifetime ban, because he's a G League player, not really that good. So they're like, okay, let's make an example out of this guy. Get him out of here and set the tone for the rest of the NBA.
Right, yeah. And you're seeing professional athletes who do have big bankrolls making public statements about the bets that they're making with online gambling. It's a growing phenomenon. But, seeing that and banning an NBA player for life is one thing. But in the world of combat sports, just yesterday, Ryan Garcia, who, was able to do an incredible upset fight. A lot of people counted him out based off his erratic behavior, and that's putting it mildly. The kid is acting like a straight up psycho crackhead. But he was able to go in and upset and shock the world when he, basically kicked Hanley's ass. And with that, he was going into this fight already at a $1.5 billion deficit because he didn't make weight. But now he's stating that he bet majorly on himself and won over $10 million. What is the morality and the legality of a professional fighter betting on themselves going into a fight like this?
I think legality wise, I don't think there's really anything that you could do about that. And that's why, for a guy like Jonte Porter betting on himself or betting against himself and shaving points or shaving his minutes, I think that it's more just up to the league itself. I don't know really exactly what a federal punishment should be for someone who's in the sport and is actually betting on that. I think it's just all up to whatever sport they're involved in.
Yeah, but it's obviously if he bet on himself to lose and then he lost,
and then it'll be a different story.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
But even saying I'm betting on myself to win, you could say that's confidence, but you could also, you all have inside information that other people don't have.
Right.
You know your opponent a little bit better. Whatever kind of rope-a-dope. Like he also said that he was kind of like making up his erratic behavior and making people believe that he wasn't taking this seriously. So in a way, he was skewing the odds. And at that point, it's like if we open up Pandora's box, because now, like back in the day, we would have bookies who would deal with this, and it was kind of like an underbelly type of deal. It wouldn't be in the forefront. Now we have apps, and anybody can do it, right? And it's becoming more and more legalized throughout the nation.
Yep.
So this dude essentially skewed the odds based off his behavior, and that affected a lot of people and cost a lot of people money because he tricked people. I mean, there was an NFL player played for the Eagles. I'm trying to think of his name. He bet $250,000 on Hanley just to win $24,000. That's how lopsided the odds were, right?
Wow.
And of course, he lost that $250,000. The risk was not worth the reward. But at that point, could he blame Ryan Garcia for doing the old rope-a-dope and skewing the system and making those odds so one-sided?
Nope. It could be because you know what, man? How much money did you say that guy put down?
$250,000.
Yeah, you put down $250,000. If you're willing to gamble $250,000 to put on the line, then obviously you should be upset when you lose it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing about it. I mean, that's a different argument. I obviously have no empathy for the rich, but it's still a problem, and it's still not necessarily a fair outcome. If what Ryan Garcia is saying is true, if he manipulated people's perception of him to skew those odds and then bet on himself, I see there's some sort of a problem brewing and growing here that's only going to get worse if it doesn't get handled. And you're going to have to consider that going forward. It seems scandalous.
Yeah, well, I also think that, man, it's trending towards players and their safety being at risk and professional athletes. Like if we're talking about someone getting whacked or hurt, like the whole incident with Ipe's interpreter, the bookie left his interpreter a voicemail saying, hey, I'm looking at Shohei Ohtani walking his dog right now. I could just approach him, right, and ask him for this money. Like the second these athletes are and their lives are put at risk, that's when I think people are going to start cracking down on sports gambling.
Yeah, and that was FanDuel. So, I mean, don't mess with those apps, dude. They can track you. All right. Justin Spears from ESPN Radio. I'm sure you're going to be talking a lot about, of course, playoff basketball that's going to be happening here on ESPN 1490. Don't forget to talk about your Tucson Roadrunners because we're in the playoffs as well. We got a game tomorrow night. It's going to be a big deal. I have to hit the reset on the FM side, but we'll be back with a major concert announcement, and I'll give you an opportunity to win tickets for said concert after this. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. I'll continue this. The analogy I gave was like, say, and we're talking about the owner of the Roadrunners, Alex Morello. I'm saying he's such a mess up. Everything he does just creates a clusterfuck. Say he goes and he accidentally cuts his arm. He's like, oh, I got a cut on my arm. I got to get a Band-Aid. Goes grab a Band-Aid, goes put the Band-Aid on his arm, cuts off his arm. Like, that's the type of dude he is. He creates like one little mistake and he just
domino effect.
Yeah. He can't help himself. In every step of the way, where it's so baffling, where you're like, you're a billionaire with a B?
How?
Yeah. Like, how did you even get dressed this morning? It doesn't make sense. It's insane. And it's. I'll be honest with you. Take the personal attachment aside, because it affects me. Yeah. And reading on the news whether or not you're fired always sucks. Right. Take that aspect out. It's wildly entertaining because you're like, man, it's like Mr. Bean goes to NHL ownership camp, right? Like, what are you doing?
What hijinks this week?
Yeah, and there's there's an absence of look in the eyes there where you're just like, oh my God, man, this guy's in this position and he's gonna make one hell of a president someday, that's for sure. I know, that's the sad reality of it, right? He's checking all the boxes. We're about 25 seconds before we're gonna get into this game. And so we're gonna attempt 2 rounds on this, and it's tough. It's 9:30 in the morning, running low on caffeine. We're burning out a lot of energy all throughout the morning.
Yes.
Rico's wearing a forward hat and still recovering from a bee sting. But now it's time to put on some improv. And I don't know if slouching is going to make your improv better.
I'm getting in character.
Rock on 2.1 KFMA. Okay, Rico's getting into character is what he said. And welcome back to the podcast broadcast. What character is that, Rico?
Guy with lower back problems.
Oh, yeah, lower. Somebody doesn't squat with their knees, huh?
Ooh.
Mr. Jimbo.
Excuse me.
All right, we got Allana and Cy from Unscrewed Theater in studio. The big game show is happening this Friday at Unscrewed Theater, and this is a way for you to play an interactive game show and being contestant yourself. And it's an improv game, and to give you examples of this, Allana and Cy are going to host the show, and both Rico and I are going to be the contestants. So, Cy, explain the show briefly and this first round of what Rico and I have to do.
Absolutely. All right. So we're going to play part of what would be round 1 of Make Me Laugh, and what we're going to do is we're going to do what we call our honk honk round. We call it the honk honk round because each contestant will have a buzzer, but we don't have buzzers here, so you can just shout them out when you've got them.
Okay.
So the idea here, and of course, Allana is going to judge you based on whether or not what you did was funny. It's really not all that judgmental, but that's the whole premise of the show.
That's good. And what a tough judge, too.
That's right.
Yeah.
She is a tough judge.
Yeah, I don't laugh at all.
Yeah.
And very hard to get her to laugh.
So,
she goes, not funny.
This is what's great about this, too. So it's who's funnier between me and Rico. And honestly, I literally just got nervous when Cy described this. He's a silent killer, man. He comes with some pretty clever comedy.
I'm on fumes, dude. It's all right.
The only thing that's in my favor is sometimes his comedy's a little too smart for the room.
Fair enough.
Go overhead, and then, like, in retrospect, you're like, oh my God, that was funny. So I play to the lower comedy denominator.
Lowbrow.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes. Although this one, here's your prompt, and this is one that it's all about selling it more than it is about coming up with something original, because what I need you to do is we're calling this Movie Your Life.
Okay.
So describe your love life using only movie titles.
Oh. Okay.
You got to buzz in, remember?
Well, Joe,
yeah.
just shout it out because Elena's right here. She can see who's talking.
Oh.
I got it.
So, for instance,
Toy Story.
there it is.
Okay. Toy Story. Very nice. Very nice. That's your love life, huh?
Ah.
A Few Good Men.
Nice.
Oh.
Saving Private Ryan.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Saving Ryan's Privates. That's a spinoff that I saw. Let's see. I want to say Barbie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terminator.
Yes.
No. Okay. American Pie.
Predator.
No.
Telling on yourself.
All the
Yeah.
Arnold movies, I'm just going through and see what sticks.
Commando.
Commando. Yeah.
No. Let's just stick on Predator for a minute and explain that one. Oh, you don't want to? You want to move
You don't want
forward?
to end up on a list.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I can give you another one. Here's
Okay.
here's another Hong Kong prompt for you.
Okay.
And this one is an innuendo prompt.
Hold on. I want to share Manny's real quick. Cocaine Bear.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Thank you, Manny.
Yeah. Money. All right.
All right. Things you can say about your new boat, but not your significant other. I'll give you an example. Whew, she is taking on water.
Okay. Yeah.
Expensive.
Yes.
Oh, she's expensive. Yeah. She reeks like gas.
Nice.
Lots of semen running around.
Uh-huh.
Oh, damn. That was good. They got a naval joke in there. Let's see. Oh, she likes to bob on water.
Mm-hmm. I wish she were bigger.
Oh, yes.
Hardly used.
Hardly used.
Mm-hmm.
How about this one? My wife hates that I got her.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. Likes to have more than one passenger.
Yeah.
Well,
Watching just Rico's face.
Trying to be radio friendly too.
Sure.
yeah. Well, I have a dump button in case it gets crazy. She floats. She's huge.
Requires an oar. I don't.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
Sure.
She likes when I ride her.
Unsafe at night.
Oh, yeah.
Can handle waves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love it. All right. How about a duo improv prompt for the two of you?
All right, let's try.
I have.
Explain duo improv prompt and how we do that.
Well, I have a feeling you will be perfectly suited for this one. You will do just fine. The idea is I'm going to read a sentence that describes a situation, and you simply take it from there and create that situation.
Okay.
So here is your duo improv prompt. Things get awkward around hour 6 of the road trip.
Oh, yeah. That's when I turn on Kenny G and look Rico in the eyes to talk about our feelings.
There it is.
And after that, I started crying to myself for no reason whatsoever.
And that's when I grab a napkin out of my middle console and hand it to you to wipe those tears gently from your eyes. But this napkin is crusty. Don't ask why.
I'm asking why.
You're only going to cry harder once I reveal that answer. And now your face is pregnant.
Oh, God.
Uh-huh.
I ask if we can pull over to Holiday Inn Express.
All right. I get excited and rapidly pull into a Holiday Inn Express.
I approach the person in the lobby with panicked eyes.
I'm standing behind you, giving that person a look. And like, don't worry about this guy. He's crying because he got a sticky face.
The person is wondering how they can help you.
Mm-hmm.
I say, please, for the love of God, help me. Whispering it, mouthing it.
I'm smiling behind you with a thumbs up.
And then she responds, a very randy couple, and offers us the honeymoon suite.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's it. There's your scene.
And scene.
And scene.
To see the conclusion of that scene, you could just search it up on Pornhub. I'm
That's
sure
right.
there's plenty of
Yes.
examples. Anything else as far as examples for Make Me Laugh, the game that you're going to be doing this
I
Friday?
do. This one's solo, so this one's just for you.
Okay.
All right. So, and this, I'm just going to give you a prompt and you get to go off as if you're this guy.
Okay.
A conspiracy guy adds new yarn connections to his wall.
This is actually a Rico thing.
Oh,
you
is it?
know?
All
Yeah,
right.
he's been doing
Should Rico
research
take it?
for years.
What do you have to respond with now?
You are now a conspiracy guy and you're adding new yarn connections to your wall.
You've been waiting for this moment all your
Go
life.
off.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
All right, here's how I proved the Titanic was actually switched with another ship.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
First of all, the Federal Reserve, 1912, right? Who were the prominent people on this boat? What could they gain by switching out the Titanic title with the other boat that nobody thought about? It was a huge insurance fraud, and a lot of rich people went under, and therefore creating the Federal Reserve we're all slaves under right now. All started with Titanic, and James Cameron tried to usurp the true legend with his BS romantic fairy tale.
Yup. Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
That's
Oh my-
perfection.
I
I
know.
believe that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He was just reciting his manifesto that he
Yeah.
wrote, but yes.
It's good to recite it every once in a while.
Yeah.
That was
You got to
bottom-
keep it fresh.
That was
you know.
that was on the reserve. That's not the most exciting.
Liz,
We'll
Liz,
talk later.
Liz Rowe loves how Rico lit up. Like I said, this was a Rico moment. we thought he was sleeping this entire podcast until we said, "Here you go."
I
His
found the
back
new
got
caffeine.
Straighter. He
Yeah.
sat up.
Like, ooh,
Make me laugh. The game
Avril
show.
Lavigne is a fake.
Yeah. Make me laugh. The game show night is happening at Unscrewed Theater this Friday night. You can get ticket information at unscrewedtheater.com. You can walk up to the door of the show. It starts at 9. It's an adult event, so 17 and up, because there will be cursing and fun and hilarity that will ensue. We're going to keep the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. More with after music from Perfect Circle on Rock 102.1 KFMA. You see how I like move my head to get the words out? Oh, I'm like a fucking giraffe. Like,
Bobblehead
Yeah.
strategy.
Just
Yeah.
Throw it.
It was stuck. The words were right there. But yeah, that was fun. And fantastic conspiracy theory.
Oh, yeah.
What's your
That was-
favorite conspiracy theory?
That's a real one out there. It's kind of funny.
the Atlanta. Yeah. What was her name again?
Avril Lavigne.
Yeah, Avril Lavigne
Oh,
one. Yeah,
well, that's
for
Oh,
it
sure.
yeah.
too.
That's a
Yeah.
good
But there's a
one.
fake Avril
Oh,
Lavigne.
the
Fake Avril
Titanic.
Lavigne. Well, the Titanic one.
Titanic's a real one.
That's a real one as well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's how it
Switch the boats.
created the Federal Reserve.
No, they're saying people that were against it were on the boat when they died or something. So.
The iceberg was a plant.
No,
Mm.
well, I mean,
It was
like,
Cthulhu.
how do you not know that big ass iceberg is right in front of you? I mean, you have
Could have been a
people,
missile.
you have eyes, and you know the area that you're in is.
But I like how the
pretty
movie
frigid.
insinuates two teenagers banging in a car, or like that's why the ship sank because horny sailors are watching them, not watching the ice.
Oh,
That's
that's
their
a,
fault.
that's a Titanic insinuated.
Well, no, the guys on the deck were like, "Hey, check out these guys effing in the car," and then I went to go watch them have sex, and instead of watching the port and whatever,
Wait, they watched them?
I thought they like looked over like, "Hey, check this out."
And that's in the movie.
Isn't it in the
Titanic.
movie?
I don't recall
Has to
watching
be.
that
It's
movie.
been too long since I've seen it. I believe you.
Somebody fact check that.
To be fair, I only ever watched the second VHS tape of Titanic, never the first.
Well,
It's,
two
it's
cassettes?
technically two movies
Yeah.
because it's the first half is the love story and then the second half is the disaster movie.
And I wanted the disaster.
yeah,
movie.
the disaster movie is the best part.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's true. You can pick and choose between the two parts.
Yeah, and
Let's
they're
get
both
to the fun
they're
part.
literally both about an hour and a half long. So
Yeah.
it's a perfect two movie set.
Oh, Cameron.
Yeah,
Wise.
he knew what he was
Wise.
doing. Yeah, and this is in the VHS era as well. I remember seeing Titanic in theaters and my ass going numb and just waiting for it, the ship to finally sink. And then that part was the part that I celebrated. Unfortunately, I was on a date, and that was a put off on
Oh, yeah.
said date.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I mean, I was in high school at the time, but yeah, seeing people like spin out of control, hit the
Yeah.
propeller.
Oh
I
yeah,
rewound that like 5 times because I was sick and twisted. It's like that was red.
little guy bounce off the
Like, good
Bounce off
effects.
the railing.
Yes, that's absolutely a guy thing. All right. Let's see. Speaking of which, I do need to share Rico's 5-star review from this morning. It was a fantastic one that instantly got a response from the business owner, who is now a fan of Rico as well. In case you missed it, one little something like this. Hey, if may, that's Godsmack. If you don't know by now, my good friend Rico likes to go out and about on the town, and when he has a pleasurable experience at a business, he immediately rushes to Google reviews
Immediately.
to share that with the world. And we have another 5-star review that Rico's going to share with you. What's interesting with this one is that it had an equally creative response from the owner almost immediately. So,
Very heartfelt.
yes, Rico, who did you review this week?
Midtown Mercantile Merchants.
Please tell me all about it.
All right. In the last few years, there's been a noticeable increase in thrifting and antiquing. People are thrifting now more than ever.
Yeah.
Is it because everyone is broke and looking for an affordable secondhand item? Perchance.
Yep.
Is it because there's an element of personal responsibility in not purchasing something shiny and new only to be discarded in a short amount of time and instead opting for something with long-term usage and character? Perchance.
Okay.
Is it just looking for attention from people and getting cool hipster points? Mostly.
Yeah, for sure.
I am no stranger to Goodwill and Savers because of the thrill I get from purchasing shirts with questionable stains. But after enough time, one needs to up the thrill just a little bit. I decided to upgrade to trying my hand at antiquing. There are plenty of antique stores here in the old Pueblo, and it's a beautiful thing. Us desert folk love trinkets and random stuff to entertain ourselves with because when going outside is like stepping into an air fryer hair dryer, we must find a way to stay sane indoors.
Oh.
I saw a sketchy group of geriatrics in the parking lot at Safeway, forming a barter circle and trading porcelain items, small appliances, miscellaneous garments, and relics of time past. They were giddy as could be, and I got closer and closer to try to hear some details. I heard one of them say, "If it wasn't for Midtown Mercantile Merchants, I'd be spending money on my grandchildren instead." And then they all quietly laughed. My cart made a squeak, and suddenly they all darted their angry gaze toward me and scattered like panicked, wrinkly orangutans, jumping over cars and climbing street lamps to get away. Apparently, I stumbled into a hidden gem of a secret. So the next day, I had to go see it for myself. Evidently, the location in the Rancho Center used to be a Bookman's, and the big old sign lets you know you're about to enter a portal where the old meets new. I was excited. What treasures will be discovered today? As I entered the building, I was pleasantly assaulted with the warehouse overstimulation of rows and rows and shelves of glassware, artwork, funny hats, trinkets, old-timey dressers, jewelry, clothing, mid-century furniture, Elvis wigs, lawn statues, remnants of a divorce in 1965, half-smoked cigarettes from World War I, toilets from the set of Lawrence of Arabia, creepy dolls from the 1940s that will for sure awaken at 3 a.m. and unalive you and your whole family, and so much more.
Wow, Jesus.
As I delightfully perused and spent 25 minutes holding a life-sized wooden owl I found while going ooh and ah in every aisle, I saw several signs declaring an underground section of the store where you have to take an elevator to.
Oh, nice.
Curiosity got the best of me, and I decided to check it out. I hit the elevator button, but evidently I went one floor too low as the door opened and there was what seemed to be a goth 90s vampire rave going on. Some blood-soaked, long-fanged old-timers tried to lure me in, but I just mouthed, "I'm good," and went one floor up. More antiques! I couldn't believe it. Just when I thought it couldn't get any better, I was still holding my prized wooden owl, and I was looking at some rotary dial telephones, and some old couple walked by and stopped in front of me. The man smiled and said, "Nice owl. We've been looking for one." And I clenched it tighter immediately, saying, "Yeah? Well, now it's mine. It's the only one they had, and I won't give it up." The wife looked at him, and his smile turned into a tightly pursed, angry scowl. "Henry, we need a garden owl. You know how much I need a garden owl." "All right. How much was the sticker price, young man?" "I'm not willing to say. How much is it worth to you? How much is your wife's joy worth, Henry?" "What kind of man are you? Really?"
That's good business.
He reluctantly pulled out a checkbook out of his back pocket and licked a pen. "How's $85 sound?" "Sounds like more than my tax refund this year, Henry. Make it 87 and the owl is yours."
Oh.
Henry smiled, shook his head in bittersweet resentment as he ripped the check and handed it to me. "Pleasure doing business, big dog. Enjoy your owl." They started aggressively making out, and I made my way back to the elevator. I've known for a while now this is how the big bucks are made. Envy and jealousy. I was down an owl and up a tank of gas and maybe a Lunchables. I'll be back for another great experience, if only for that spiky 19th century Bavarian war helmet. 5 stars.
Oh my God, that's a fantastic review. And I need to know more about that goth vampire rave that is 2 doors or 2 floors underneath the Midtown Mercantile Merchants of thrift shop.
They definitely splurged on that area for sure.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
That's an actual factual 5-star review that you can find on Google by searching and looking at the reviews there. And it actually got a response from the owner. That response is equally creative, and we're going to share that with you next on Beef Vegan Presents. So keep it right here. It's Rock 102.1. Rock 102.1 KFMA. This is fun. For the first time that we've got an instant reply back at back here on the stream, and welcome back. And yeah, that was the 5-star review, and of course the owner responded back very joyfully to Rico's review, and didn't mention anything about the vampire underground rave that she apparently houses.
People are going to think I'm crazy. They're going to go there and they probably like remove the button to get down that level now. They're like, that doesn't exist. I'm like, it does. It was there. There was vampires.
I swear.
I was there.
That would be great. People come across that and then go to the elevator and like, wait a second.
Where's the vampire rave orgy room? Come on.
It's under the chocolate fountain.
Right?
It wouldn't be fantastic as the business owner herself, if she sees someone dressed like a vampire raver just walk into
Where's the ring?
Yeah, and immediately she has to say it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I know why you're here.
Here's a coupon.
I'm tired of these damn vampires showing up to my mercantile shop.
But they're buying pillows. It's fine.
Right?
Yeah.
Uh,
I know, it's amazing. What else do you have going on, Allana? You've been, of course, you're doing improv is one of your passions. You do stand-up comedy. And then is there another first Friday night or a sketch comedy show that you have coming up?
Oh, so actually, we're doing a duo show on May
10th.
We're doing so it's Fridays After Dark, but we're doing all improv duos because
And one stand-up duo.
and one stand-up duo, which is Jen Blanco and Kurt
Tony.
Oh shoot. Well, anyway, but yeah.
Oh, is that a bad thing?
No.
No.
It's just a new development.
It's a new development.
Okay.
She just confirmed.
Cool. I should read emails. No, we're doing a complete duo night. So that's going to be Friday at 9 p.m. Is that one $10 or are we?
That one will be a pay what you will.
That would be a pay what you will
Yeah,
show.
because Unscrewed
Okay.
Fridays After Dark is always a pay what you will show.
Nice. That's nice.
But we've got a guest improv duo from LA coming in called Roland and Riches, and they're headlining. We're sort of doing it as a command performance because they're coming to town and we want it. They're so much fun. They were like, we need a show that can just highlight them. So they're kind of the headliners of that particular night.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, so you got a lot of stuff going on there. And so that's May 10th. And then you have it all on the calendar, unscrewedtheater.com?
Yes, sure do.
Is it .com or .org?
.org.
But
Yeah.
.com will get you there.
Yeah. Oh, good. So you own both.
we got both domains,
Uh,
baby.
Yeah.
Because,
Power move.
Nice.
Nice.
All right. We're going to get on the air here. And right after Blink-182, there was a survey asking people basically what are the top 3 boyfriends and girlfriends from books, right?
Oh, no.
Yeah, so okay, you look like an avid reader. You get excited about this, so I want to see how spot on you might be. What would you say is the top 3 boyfriends from books?
Is probably going to be Mr. Darcy, and then it'll probably be some dumb
Edward and Jacob.
Only Edward.
Okay.
Only Edward.
Fair
They
enough.
don't care about Jacob.
Jacob
and then
is trash.
Then it'll be one of the guys from Hunger Games.
no, it would probably be
Peter.
Gray from 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah,
I
Shades of
forgot
Grey
his
guy.
first name, but those are my 3.
Okay, well, who was the
Gray.
first one? So you had Edward.
Mr. Darcy from
Mr.
Pride and-
Darcy from Pride and
Pride and
Prejudice.
Okay.
Edward Cullen
Cullen.
from Twilight. And then I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be Gray from 50 Shades of Grey. I forgot his actual name.
Christian
Grey.
There it is.
Oh, Brad, you know.
I know only
Because he's kinky.
Because no, it's in the answers. Like you're so fucking close. It's amazing. And obviously, the way you
Jesus.
lit up, I knew you would do this. Your first guess is not on the list, unfortunately. But according to this, the top 3 boyfriends are the number 3, Edward Cullen from Twilight. 21% of people said that. Number 2, Christian Grey from 50 Shades of Grey, which is insane as far as you're talking about ideal boyfriends here.
Not ideal in any way.
Yeah, I read the Cliff Notes.
Not
It seems
remotely
like
ideal.
Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. I asked this question based off a survey to Allana and Cy from Unscrewed Theater. Allana lit up. And it was, what are the
Ooh.
top 3 boyfriends and girlfriends from books? And according to this survey, and she got 2 out of 3 right, which we just revealed, which is amazing. Number 3 was Edward Cullen from Twilight, 21%. Christian Grey from 50 Shades of Grey, which Cy and I agree. Seems like it's a very twisted number 2. Like, I don't know, in real life, you want to date Christian Grey. And I know sometimes when you try to pull out some Christian Grey moves, all of a sudden, you're the weirdo. And then...
You're only the weirdo if you didn't have her sign the piece of paper.
That's true. You need that ahead of time. Number 1, super cheesy, super romantic, and probably super predictable. You're going to kick yourself for not answering this one. Noah Calhoun.
From Notebook.
That's
Ah.
right. Yes, I know. So, with that said, who do you think are the top 3 girlfriends from books, according to surveys? And see, you're saying you're already out. You're
I'm
like
out. I
too
don't
busy
know.
fantasizing about Christian Grey to worry about them bitches. Sorry, that was a real rough.
Girlfriends.
Probably. I really hope
Bella's
it's not Bella
probably in
Swan.
there,
But
yeah.
it's probably Bella Swan, even though she did absolutely
She is
nothing.
in there.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Katniss wouldn't surprise me, but she's a terrible girlfriend.
No, She's on
She just
there.
cares about her career, taking down the government.
Yeah.
You're gonna be shocked on this, and I was actually again put off. Obviously, Christian Grey. I was like,
Hermione in there.
I was like, wait a second, that's questionable. Number 3 doesn't make sense to me whatsoever, but we'll get into it. Okay, so number 1
Okay.
is connected to 50 Shades of Grey. So basically, the submissive Anastasia
Anastasia.
Steele.
She
Ugh.
did nothing in that
That's the whole
entire
point.
book.
That's the point.
Oh, I guess.
I guess. I don't know if that's a fantasy, right? Well, okay, maybe for
to have to
some.
do nothing and end up marrying a billionaire. I can see where that's a fantasy for some
Right.
people.
I guess we know a couple Anastasia Steeles in real life.
It's not fair. I married a vet tech, and I try really hard in my marriage.
Not
fair.
27% said that she was the ideal girlfriend from books, according to the survey.
Insane.
Coming in number 2, another do nothing, according to you, Bella Swan.
Bella Swan. There she is.
Mm-hmm.
These do-nothingers.
They're literally written to be blank slates that women can paste themselves onto as they read.
exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, what was some of the takeaways of her being an ideal girlfriend? It was just like fawning
Don't get
over
in the
2
way.
guys.
It was more of the just, I'm going to fawn over this man who is a complete red flag and a vampire. But then I'm going to get everything I want because I really want to be a vampire, but he's just not going to kill me. So I'm just going to hope that one day I die and then he resurrects me, which is basically what happened.
Oh, spoiler alert. I
Yeah,
was
thanks a
just
lot.
about to read those books. Ugh. All right. And watch the movies, I guess. And coming in number 3, this one is, for me, the most baffling out of all of them. Juliet from Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, no. Oh, for heaven's sakes.
She's 12.
Not a book.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
You know what, actually?
That's a good call. Not a book. That's
a
a
book.
play. Maybe converted to some
I
kind
mean,
of
you
book.
can read it.
Stephen
Sure.
King's Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, there you go.
conversion. Yeah.
She's 12.
12.
She commits suicide.
Yeah. The whole thing happened over like 2 days. I mean, it's oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And could have been solved with a sticky note.
Yeah. But
A lot
that
of
was
thumb
the one.
biting going on.
That's where we're at. Maybe again, people just read the cliff notes or looked at the movie poster and went from there. But yeah, for the top 3, Anastasia Steele, 27%, Bella Swan, 23%, and well, number 3, which with a higher percentage, is Juliet from Romeo and Juliet with 25%. So it doesn't make sense, but that was a survey you can find, study finds.
I wish I were more surprised.
Right. I know. It's insane.
I don't know,
I
something from like the 17th century.
Yeah.
Something, like somewhere, yeah.
All right. Well,
Mhm.
on that note, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. But I'd like to thank you both for coming in. Unscrewed Theater this Friday at 9 p.m. That's where you're going to see the game show that you can interact with called Make Me Laugh. Go to unscrewedtheater.com or .org for more information and to get your tickets. Allana and Cy, thank you so much for hanging out with us again. Rico, excellent job as always. Tomorrow morning, we're going to continue to give away a bunch of tickets, including tickets for playoff hockey and the Pima County Fair, Sublime with Rome, and the show that we announced this morning, which is Megadeth. Until then, Robin Nash is up next. Enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later.
When you wish upon a side of
Thanks,
beef,
everybody.
soon will come and end
See you on the
all
flippity
your
flop.
grief.
Flippity,
But
flippity,
if
flippity flop.
you've been mean or kind of bad,
Babuska.
I will knock out all your teeth.